Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is Friday, so we need to wear red. Wear red for everyone deployed. Think about our servicemen and women and what they are doing to protect all of us here at home. Grab a drink. Also, it's happy hour, you guys. So Clint Westwood's going to meet us on the other side of this, and my buddy Distant from Den.social's here to explain how we can all benefit from being on the mighty lair over at Den.social. This is something that I'm trying to do for the community. I want you guys to come with me, and we can all benefit from this. And we also have our data protected over there. So quit letting them steal your energy, like Westwood always says. Don't let the vampires have your energy. Join us at Den.social. You guys make sure you like and share this video. I'm going to be giving away lot tokens. So you will have ownership in the lair for participating. And we'll tell you how to do all that today. So check it out. Be right back after this. Whoa, hey, Friday is happening all over the world today. It's like, well, actually, it's not Friday all over the world today. Not at the same time anyway, but crazy things are happening all over the world. I actually tagged your comment. So I didn't see Johnny's post where he was saying, hey, payment outage, what's going on? Yeah, but I got a notification of your comment that your wife had gone out to lunch with her girlfriend, and they were like, hey, are you paying cash or charge? She's like, oh, I've got a card. And they're like, well, you're in luck. Your lunch is free. And then I tagged Johnny because he had just sent me a message probably, I don't know, an hour or so before. And he's like, hey, Lisa, there's payment outages everywhere. My son had come in, crisis at the Davis household. We were watching one of my dear friends, little boy, she had surgery, and so we're keeping him for a couple days. And the boys are like, we cannot play Fortnite. The Wi-Fi is down. Crisis, you know. So we worked on our homeschooling stuff. But so then I saw Johnny's post, and he's like, huge payment processing outage. All of this is falling in line with the timing of the Japan bank and treasury fighting, the pension crisis in the UK with the banks and their treasury fighting. Next week, Australia has already announced a big bank closing, which they already had 2 banking holidays or 3 banking holiday days already worked in. So they're like, oh, it's not that bad. We already have normal. But they've also already talked about rolling out their CBDC. So like, it's right here. It's happening right now. It's pretty exciting. What do you think?
All right. First of all, tell me how the microphone sounds. It's a different microphone.
It's great. Now tell me what you think.
Okay.
Yes. I'm so excited. You have to tell me.
Happy. I'm happy. Here's what I think's going on. Everything's going down right now. Everything's falling apart. Guess what? Continue to run. Litecoin, baby. 100% uptime for 11 years.
That's right.
I think people are going to realize that. I mean, seriously, that's what happened to my wife earlier. She was out with her sister. She came in from out of town, and they went to lunch, and she said, yeah, I mean, the payment systems are down, and they can't take payments with the card. If you don't have cash, they couldn't take a payment. So basically the lunch was free. So what's going to happen is, just like Johnny said, these businesses are going to start closing early. You can't sit around and say, well, I can't take payment. My processor doesn't work. The system's down. If you don't have cash, you're not going to be able to buy anything. See, Bixweir's video today was really good. He hits the nail on the head in so many things. He's been saying this times. And it's, when things are falling apart, what are you going to need? Businesses will not function if they cannot get the payments.
Right.
You need something that's going to work. And what did he say? Litecoin is the right coin as a means of exchange. I mean, when things fall apart, you'll have Litecoin. And I mean, seriously, I mean, there's a lot of things falling apart right now.
A lot of things are falling apart. And that's where, so for our community, I have been introduced to Den.social and the Dragon Chain. And I get to go join some of the smartest guys around every Thursday morning and be the dumbest girl in the room, which is, I learn a lot from them every, oh, No, see, I'm still talking over you with the.
No, but
this.
you'll be the smartest girl in the room too, right? Because you're the only girl in the room.
Well, there's a girl behind the scenes. She's much smarter than me. Yeah, but anyway, um, they're this great team, and they have built something called Den.social. So I want to bring Dave Distant on, and we've opened the mighty lair. Distant,
hello.
thanks for joining us.
Hey,
So
Dave.
I
Thanks for
watched,
having me.
yeah. I watched what you guys were doing over at Den.social, and how instead of like mining data from people the way Facebook does and selling them like
Right.
slaves and using people, you guys at Den.social allow the people to contribute their energy, and they benefit from their energy and their contribution.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. That's kind of what you said right there. You said you're not one of the smart people on the World Blockchain Show. That's bullshit. First of all,
Well, you're sweet.
just want to throw that out there.
I don't like slice DNA in my spare time.
I don't either. My wife does that.
Yeah, your wife.
But what you said just now, that was what really, when I first started looking into it several years back about what they were doing over there, and I decided to get highly involved. Just what you said was what hooked me, was that there are so many people that are working for free. Fundamentally, they don't feel like they're doing work, but you're spending time and using brain power, and you're creating data for Facebook or for Google or for Twitter. You're creating data that their algorithms know how to mine for profit for them. So in essence, you're sucking value out of a community and centralizing it into a company's bank account, right? And so whenever I saw, really, I'm a Bitcoiner. That's where I come from. I'm a miner, and everything on Den is proven out to Bitcoin, actually. Now, you won't see that on the surface, but under the hood, everything is on chain. Everything is run on a blockchain, and it's rewarded in a cryptocurrency. There's a few different tokens, but the point is, what we do with Den is we allow people to self-regulate, self-govern, and self-profit instead of having targeted advertisers use the data to decide who to serve up an ad to. What Den does is it uses the data in behavioral systems where basically the system, if you think of it like a company, like any business, you need people to do tasks. You need people to do the job of stuff, right? So what Den's done is they've laid out different roles where maybe you're really good at picking out, evaluating, judging content. Well, you can vote on stuff and you actually get paid out for that. Maybe you're really good at creating content. You're a content creator, right? So that would be the content that the evaluators are judging. So those people work hand in hand. There's some alternative advertising systems on Den, but there is no targeted advertising and there is no data harvesting. In fact, with the advertising itself, it's built in a way that the majority of that advertising money goes to the people that are using the platform and that are doing that work. So it really is kind of that. I don't even know how to sum it up in a short phrase, but basically it's a way to return the power to the people, to the money that's being taken from people that they don't even know is being
the useful idiot.
The value.
I had an interview with Reggie Middleton today that'll be released out on the Very Dow YouTube channel.
I love Reggie.
People don't know what an advocate he really is for the little guy in the crypto space specifically, and for freedom. And he's like the big brother is what I think of it. Like, he's going to tell you the stuff that you need to know because the world will teach you, but they don't love you. That kind of thing, And so we were talking about it, and he's like, well, basically the term is useful idiot. He's like, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, but that's actually a term in the PSYOP world that they use for people like you and us, that they use us. We're their, and in this situation, Facebook and Google and those things treat us, we are their slaves. We work for free for them. We are their useful idiots that spend our time, our energy, our resources. We pay the electric bill. We pay for the phone bill. We are their useful idiots to make them billionaires. while
100%.
they exploit our privacy and our families and all of that. And we allow it.
And I remember the first time I ever used Facebook, the first time I ever saw it. I'm a veteran. I was in the Navy for 9 years. And Facebook actually was a useful tool that I found. Somebody was in the ship's library. We were out at sea and we had an internet connection. And they were talking to their family at home on Facebook Messenger, right? And I remember thinking like, oh, that's convenient. I don't have to go get an AT&T prepaid phone card and use the ship's phone and schedule time and then be kicked off by the next guy that wants to call his wife and that kind of thing. So it actually, it came with a lot of utility. It's like, here's a free website to use stuff. But over time, just the monolithic nature of it became so predatory that it's just disgusting. It was grossing me out, So definitely avoid that.
Served up ads because you watched something somewhere else, or they heard you speaking at the dinner table with your family about something. That's so creepy.
And everything today is designed to that, right? That's how companies think that they have to design a Web 2 company, is to be able to serve up ads and make advertising dollars to pay the bills, right? And it wasn't until, Bitcoin was the beginning, but from there we've evolved and found so many use cases for this type of technology. And one of them is this push for Web 3, where, Web 2 is great and all because it has a lot of functionality, but it also centralizes all of that power and all of that profit into a central company. So with Web 3, with Den, what we can do is we can not only can we make it to where it's more, I would say, equitably distributed among people who are doing the actual work of creating the value, right? The whole reason that people are on Facebook is there's interesting stuff there to read and people to talk to, right? Facebook employees don't create that value, the users do, the people that have accounts, right? So that's who should be getting some of the money for this, or if not like most of the money for this stuff. But then also with that, since it is, blockchain based and Web3 enabled, flashy words and all, what does that mean? Well, we can actually organize governance systems on the website too. So there's, with the Mighty Lair, you're giving out lot today, and those lot tokens will be literally, they are voting rights. They're governance voting rights in your layer. So if you wanted to make some sort of decision and get input from people that hold these tokens, right, that have proven, for example, they've watched your show every week, so they've gone and they've commented and said, here's the favorite part of the show, and other people have voted on that and they're in the top. Well, for participation, you get a say in the decision-making process. And you can craft a variety of governance structures around that. So we're rolling in DAO functionality to this. There's public or private layers. We've got chat rooms now. There's DM system now. So we keep, adding a feature set one at a time. And even that, the whole platform is directed by the people that are using them. We refer to ourselves as denizens. I think it's a good term.
Yeah.
So the denizens actually direct Den DAO in a development priorities list. So every time we finish a feature, it goes up for a vote, and people vote on what do we want next? What's most important for the community? So the whole thing's driven by the community, and just that. The whole thing's driven by the community.
So Westwood, did you go create your?
I did.
I think I saw it there. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody else needs to do it. So I'm a good co-host. I'm a good supporter of Like Queen Lisa and the Lair. I'm out dragon slaying, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm signed up. So everybody else needs to check the below, hit that link that Lisa has in the description, and go click on it, go sign up, and get your handle. I figured I better do it. Somebody else is going to go out there and get Clint Westwood.
They will. So that's the other thing. If you have a handle that you like on YouTube or wherever you populate and talk and chat, and that's your identity, go get it first. That was one of the things when we talked about, Dave met with me to set up the Mighty Lair, and we were like, oh, what do we call it? This and that. And we were like, you know what? We're first in. Let's be like, I want to just be Cher or Pink or Madonna.
So
we're just mighty.
Just mighty.
We're first.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like Mighty 123 or,
Right.
like somebody's already got your handle or that kind of thing. You could actually make your handle anything you want right now. I shouldn't say that, but we haven't implemented. There's a couple of features that are going in. One of them, well, that's a different conversation.
So I'm going to put in the live chat, I'm going to put a link right now. If you're in the live chat, you can just click on this. It'll take you right to the first post, or the post that has the competition in it. And I'll also screen share and let you guys kind of see. We're brainstorming of how to do this. And as it rolls out, if you are a part of Mighty Lair, then you'll be able to like vote on the governance of like how we're going to change this. And I'll show you guys, I've already posted one of the first things that we're going to vote on, like what's our profile picture going to be. And I'll show you, and I haven't gone in and I saw your message to me, Dave, about I can go in and put in replies the examples.
Yeah, there's right now, and
yeah,
there's not there's everything totally works, but I'll be lying my ass off if I didn't say there was friction and a learning curve. So we'll learn that together.
It's exciting to be in on a project at the beginning, to think about like think about if you were in on Facebook when it was learning and growing and at the beginning. So you get to be part of growing this and how it's kind of getting started. So,
and thank you for that.
Yeah. And you have a wallet that as you use your energy that you use every day, you get energy for how much MTR you have each day, matter. Then you use it up, and that's how you upvote or downvote something where you're like, oh, I really like this and it should be in this layer. And you evaluate content, or you're like, this doesn't really belong in this layer, or I don't agree with this, or this is not quality content, for whatever that is. Or it shouldn't be this high in priority being posted in this layer. And a layer, think of this as dragon chain. It's built on dragon chain. So everything's about a dragon, knights.
Oh yeah, the theme is very like fantasy themed, dragons stylized. Yes. Yeah.
So that'll help you with the language a little bit. So a layer is also a layer. A layer is a layer.
That's your clubhouse. Yeah. That's your spot.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me just chiming in real quick. There's a few different tokens we use, but that's really all you need to know in the beginning are those two, the matter and the energy. Matter is your hard, you can think of it as your like hard currency, your tangible thing. It's an Ethereum token. You can export it if you want to. You can import it from Uniswap if you want to. But it's also sort of the size of your fuel tank. Could I start an auto repair den? Yeah, you totally could. Yes, that'd be great. There is a cars or a.
But it's very limited, and they only like fast cars. They don't like classic cars, because I posted one
There's
of
room for that.
Yeah, we need to do a classic cars one, because I posted one of me and my 80s Mercedes, and they like downvoted the crap out of it, and I was like, what? Wait till an EMP, buddies.
That's their layer. They can run it how they want,
None of you are going to be able to drive your car around.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So
yeah, you could totally do that. There's room for that.
It's so new. There's room for tons of new layers. Yeah.
It's even set up for exactly what Lisa was talking about, where, and if you want to do a car repair stuff, and then the existing autos layer or whatever it's called doesn't like your content for whatever reason, those people just aren't into awesome stuff. Well, you could just go make your own layer, and you can say, all right, well, I'll make my own. Screw you guys. And they're all individual communities, separate from each other.
But you can also benefit from cross promoting. So you could have your own auto repair layer, and then when you have a classic car that you're auto repairing, you could go post your classic car repair on the classic car layer.
Yeah.
And they might upvote that, and you might earn energy from that, or earn matter, or earn energy.
And people that might not have known that you started an auto repair layer will see it and be like, what do you mean there's an auto repair layer? I'm going to go join that. So there's cross contamination is great on Den. You want that. That's fine. But what I was saying real quick though was the important thing with matter is that's what you're using to determine how much energy you have. So it's kind of the size of your fuel tank. However much matter MTR you have, That's how much energy you get for free every day, right? Energy is something you can only use it on Den. You can't export it or anything. You can only use it on Den, but it comes back every single day. So you can use all of it up on voting up stuff up and down. You can do all kinds of stuff, and then it's gone. But then like you wait for a little while and you come back and it refills a little bit. So it refills up to the maximum of whatever your matter is, and your matter is given for rewards for using it.
And you don't have to wait a full 24 hours. It fulfills like over time spacing out.
Yeah. In the beginning, it did. In the beginning, if I got too happy on going through and handing out energy and voting on stuff, and I ran out, well, it costs you like 2 of them to reply to someone. It's a marketplace. It's a content marketplace. It's made to kind of like slow your roll. Don't just spam stuff mindlessly. Don't be a bot coming in here. In fact, it's made to where like if you are going to run bots, it's going to be expensive for you, and it's actually going to help the community if you're going to do that.
That was a training for me because I have been trained to respond as a bot by Twitter and Facebook and the existing platforms. You're trained just to retweet, retweet.
Do all the things.
You're trained just to be a Google bot, not to create your own content. And so when I first came in, I was like, well, I can't do anything else.
We're conditioned that way.
Yes,
and it's almost like if you don't have any, like if you don't have to give up anything to perform an action, those actions become meaningless, right? It's just because if they're totally free, then they're just like, okay, they don't mean much. Mm-hmm. So a lot of deconditioning needs to happen. I mean, globally. I don't have to. I watch your shows sometimes, and I watch Truth Tuesday sometimes, and I know that you know that. I know there's a lot of deconditioning or like deprogramming that we need to do with ourselves because there's so much habit that we've gotten into. So because of that, though, there's a learning curve with Den because we didn't just copy someone or something that exists. We built it from the ground up. I say I didn't do most of the work. I just help onboard and help direct a little bit where I can and help out on the back end where appropriate.
Right. As you're coming on this, if you're like feeling frustrated or you see like, oh, I can't do things, start creating content. Go in and create a post on a lair. Bring content over and have a comment about it. Have some think about this is a place that encourages critical thinking. Westwood, we should do the book, the classic book series.
You into books, Clint?
Yeah, I'm a literature major, English major. I'm a teacher by training, but I haven't taught in I don't even know how many years now because that's how old I'm getting and how long it's been. Now, I taught for 1 year out of college. I was 21 when I graduated. Didn't care for it because I wasn't teaching. You think everybody wants to learn about literature and the classics and, and how it affects humanity. But, that's not the case. So
the reason I ask is because there is a books layer that's upcoming. I don't know when it'll get created, but it's in the list. I'm looking at it right now. And there are 38 people who are in on it, who want that to be created. So that'll be coming around.
Okay. Direct me how to show that.
Yeah. You want to give a little tour? Sure. Yeah. Go down to, so on your screen, you can't really see it. It's under LCP, which is right under governance. It's cut off on the bottom of the screen there a little bit.
Okay. Wait.
There you go. So the way that there's 2 ways that we create these layers. One is the way that we've done it here for the Mighty layer, which is we consider it a business layer. You can just create it. We can design it however you want. And you're in complete control of how that runs, how the governance works, all of that.
I just paid for it.
Yes, you can just buy it. There's a fee. We create it. Boom, it's yours. Do what you want. The other way is the community layers. This is LCP, so the layer creation process. And this is a monthly process where everyone votes on what they want next, right? So there's a week in the month where proposals are open, which means if there's something that's not on the list that you want to see as a layer that opens on Den, you can propose it and say, there's a format. You can copy and paste the format and then fill in the blanks. And all of these in this list have gone through that process. And then after the proposal phase, there is a voting phase, a committal phase, where you can vote, or a commitment phase, where you can vote on what you want to see. And so this is where you see unique voters. And then on the left, where it says lore, that's how many votes. You can vote more than once. That's something that probably shouldn't be at the beginning of the learning curve to think about. But basically, it's another one of the tokens that you get for free just by using Den. The way you do that is through your matter. It's automatically staked for you, is the system. And so you get lore. Not only do you get energy every day, but you get these layer ownership rights is what it stands for. And that's what you use every month to vote on new layers. And if you do that, and if you vote on a layer and that layer wins, your lore or your votes get converted 1-to-1 for the lot, the ownership tokens. And then you are an owner of that layer. So we just had some winners. We had GIFs, which is the correct way to pronounce GIF. And we had UFOs, or unidentified flying objects. And then we also had, what was the other one? There was a third one. Oh, fishing. So we got fishing and UFOs.
UFOs didn't pass. It's still up here.
It did. So there's 2 categories, lore and unique voters. We pick winners from each category. So the number 1 by unique voters, and then what we do is we dig down a bit. So we did 5 and 13 for lore. But yeah, basically, right now it's 3 per month, and it's based on what people vote on, and we create new layers that way, and those are free. And the other big difference is what we're doing today with Mighty Layer is we are issuing ownership based on your criteria for earning ownership in the layer. And you can mint those as a business. You can mint those as necessary. With the community layers that we were just looking at, when those win, that's the maximum supply, and nothing else ever gets created for ownership tokens on those. So a little bit of difference makes it interesting, but that's how they get created, and that's why we have so many layers in that layers list, which needs to be overhauled. By the way, I was just talking to somebody in Mighty chat, in the layer chat, about how do we find layers, and the answer is you got to scroll a little bit. The short answer is we need a better organization. We didn't have so many in the beginning, but now that we have a lot of them, we got to kind of make it a tabbed interface, make it to where you can search and all that.
All of this is growing and changing. So on the Mighty Layer, you can, let's see, where am I? Should I go back and show where the chat is on the Mighty Layer?
Yeah, you can do that. Now on yours, it's just going to be under the chat button on the right because you've been in there before.
Okay, but I can also go to the page and hit chat
also,
at the top.
The first time you do it,
square.
At the top, that's the chat bubble, exactly.
And then it'll go through the whole chat.
Yep. And you'll notice, you'll see, not only will you see chat messages in there, but if you were to just hang out in that chat room, you'll see the posts. Like you can see me, Freedom Wizard, checking in. That was my reply to somebody else's post in the layer. So what we've done is we've made it to where, so these in the boxes there, those are chat messages. But then the one that's not in a box is actually just showing what people are doing in the layer. So you don't have to go back and forth, chat room to layer to chat room to layer. You could just hang out in chat and you'll see stuff come in with a little left arrow button there. If you actually click on the text, it'll take you to that post. So as you know, as one of the layer owners, as you become a layer owner, or somebody who's you don't have to be an owner to evaluate stuff. You can just watch chat to see what comes in, and then you can click on it. It'll take you to the layer. Okay, so you don't have to keep switching back and forth, that kind of thing.
Cool. So this is where Westwood, here he is. He signed in, and he's got his account on Mighty, or his account on Den.social. All you need is any email address, and that's just for you to have customer service opportunities if you have any trouble. But he's got this, and then so let's say I want to say I apply some energy because I'm like, oh, Westwood's here. Howdy, Freedom Warriors. I'm so excited that he's here. I'm going to give him 34 energy and do his upvote arrow. And then I have to not
5, Lisa.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you over 100. 144.
If you look in the top right, you'll see that it applies and your energy decrements. It comes out of your energy pool on the top right.
Right up here.
Yep. So that's what you're applying, is that.
Yes. So then through the day, I want to spend my energy on things that I think are valuable in the community to lift up my other community members, because my energy is going to be replaced with my matter number overnight.
Yep.
Over that 24-hour period.
Exactly. So what you're doing
we're building
is
up if we're sharing our energy.
Yes. Or the other way around too. You know, if there's somebody spamming your thing, you can vote it down and it'll drop out of view. It'll drop to the bottom, that kind of thing. And both of those actions actually get rewarded. So you'll earn matter just for using energy.
Whether you're voting up or down,
absolutely
doesn't take energy away from people.
No, it needs so voting up or down, or they're both rewarded for that task, because you need troll hunters as much as you need people congratulating people, right? And you'll never get matter taken from you that you've earned in the past. You'll never like have matter taken out of your wallet. The only thing that negative energy can do is it can reduce the overall payout you get every day, because the payouts, the rewards are every single day. So there's if you check, I don't know if you want to show yours, I can show mine instead if you want to not show your private payouts. But there's a whole payout system where you can go in and you can see every day, you can see what post you got rewarded
later.
for.
That's like kind of way ahead of.
Yeah, it's out there.
I just want people to get on and get engaged, know how to post, know how to like encourage each other with upvotes, reply. I will tell you, there was one thing that Charlie G was either on his phone or I don't know if he was on his phone or his computer. He was one of the first ones on here. And he was like, I can't see where to share it. And it's because he was replying. If you're replying, then see at the bottom of the post.
Yes, I see.
The share goes away.
I see.
And I meant to tell you guys that on Den.social the other day, because he was like, I don't see where to share.
I hadn't thought of that. That's a good point. If you're in that screen, there is no share button.
Yeah, it takes all the other buttons away. So, because I was like, what's he talking about? It's right there. So when I screenshot it to him, he's like, it's not there. But it's because he was in the reply, active in the reply. So that makes sense. A little extra thing. But so then the contest that we're doing for today was, and I think this is the way we're going to I'm asking you guys to be flexible with me, and we'll start asking people that have ownership tokens. Let me find Westwood again. Can you help me tip him out with each one of my hosts? Oh, first I want to follow him. Okay. So when you find somebody in the community that you want to follow, you find their profile, you click follow.
That'll make whatever Westwood posts on Den show up in your home feed. Okay. And that is even if you're posting somewhere in a layer that you're not subscribed to. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. So if you're following Westwood and Westwood goes and posts in the brand new fishing layer that we just got, right? But you're not subscribed to the fishing layer, so you don't typically see anything in there. You'll still see that post in your feed.
Cool.
That's the two things that show up is whatever layers you're following and whatever persons you're following. And there's two ways to tip. Okay. One of them is where you are right now.
This one?
Yep.
The big dragon?
The big dragon, right? So with this, you can click on, there's three different things you can tip. You can tip the matter that you earn, right? And there's no fees on any of this. You can tip the matter that you've earned that's the default. You can also tip, we talked about lore, that's a voting token for new layers, and you can tip the lot themselves. So I see you have 3 coffee with Den layer lot over there. Thank you for chiming in on that. But if you click on that, we won't see it, but you'll see a list, a drop down.
I see my list. Okay.
So what we're not seeing right now is Lisa has a list of different layers that she has tokens for, and she's selected. Now you have 100 lot for that.
Okay. So I'm going to give Westwood 5 mighty, and he might get more because we're going to see where his comment ends up because I don't know if we're going to do, I was thinking about this. Go ahead, Westwood. What'd you say?
I'm going to get creative now. I'm going to start owning this.
Yes.
Right on. You can add a message there too. That'll show up for you and for Westwood, but nobody else will see it. So if you wanted to make a note on why you tipped it, if you wanted to make a note on just saying, hey, thanks for being awesome, that kind of thing. And then, there's a bunch of buttons. You don't have to know where all the buttons are in the beginning, but if you wanted to do this anonymously, you can. That's what the anonymous toggle for the bottom left is. So Westwood will get in your tips, you'll see a little message that shows what it was for. Boom. There we go. So if everything worked right, and you go back to the go back to the Mighty layer, you should see Westwood as an owner now.
Okay.
And that'll just be in the very top in the layer information drop down. There's a little caret there. Boom.
Me and Westwood are owners.
Kaboom.
Okay. So my goal was to have each one of my regular hosts start with 5, but then each time we do a show, you get one more lot. Was that right? I wrote it down.
We did a brainstorming session. In that, we talked about
look at it. My notes.
It doesn't matter how many.
No, maybe it was they get.
I'll
have to go back and look. It was either 1 or 5, and then each week we were going to do the Friday. So I'm going to post like we did this week. The post that it will be I'll post it on Sunday, but it'll have a link to the Friday show. And everybody that watches the show throughout the week, I'm going to have, here's the contest. Sign up on Den.social, subscribe to Mighty Lair, leave a reply about what the favorite thing you watched this week on the show. The top 3 comments with the most upvotes, note the little arrows by each comment, will receive 1 lot. And that makes you an owner in the lair. So
this is great. It's like a little what do you call it? TV guide for
TV guide. I forgot this.
If this is your clubhouse, if this is your lair, this is kind of like your weekly list of. You can just go click on. Oh, here's the Tuesday show. Oh, here's the Wednesday.
So each day, and I was a little behind. Like I think I did Monday and Tuesday on Tuesdays, and then I did Wednesday and Thursday today, and there's Fridays. But I put links to each day. Yes, we have an edit button, which was great. But we did have, so then people can read through this. And if you're subscribed to the layer, then you're seeing these and you're seeing the comments. So then you're seeing these comments, and like Daddy-O's comment, I don't know if Westwood, you saw this. Clint having tech meltdowns is how I feel damn near every day. Fave weekly segment because I feel the pain. And that's our top comment because it has 182 and the dog's barking.
Neighbor just showed up.
Oh, the favorite neighbor. All right, good. And so then you follow this line down. There'll be other comments over here, but see how we follow this first line on the outside? Then you find out what's the next one. Oh, Westwood's the next highest one, right? 152. And then the next highest one.
Yeah, you took the scales on that one, didn't you?
Be Pac-Man, which is my husband, would be awesome Go Team. So I'm kind of thinking to give people time to log in and participate in the Friday show. Maybe we should let it run to Sunday. But then I'm not giving the lot out on live.
Well, that's something that right now, here's where the DAO structure comes in. So that list of owners where you and Westwood are the 2 owners right now, those are the 2 people that can vote on governance issues. So you could actually open up a little thing and say, hey, should we do it on Friday or should we wait until Sunday? And you and Clint can weigh in, but you're going to override him because you have most of the ownership. Or
I usually override him.
or you could just make a call anyway. And if people don't like it, as we found out on the internet, they'll let you know.
That's very true. I might go ahead. I might wait till I can put more of the owners on there, because I'm trying to get Johnny. Well, Sean's on here. I could do the lot to Sean on here. And you're doing a show right now with us, so I could give you one lot.
Oh, I would be honored.
That would be awesome. Okay, wait. What would I be doing?
So I know that I'm in there. You can find me just by finding where I replied to Clint.
Yeah.
And you can't search for a user right now, not a user, a denizen right now.
Okay.
So you have to find somewhere that Sean posted. Sean has an old layer. Actually, you could find an account in there.
Okay.
Or maybe in World Blockchain.
Comments. Where did you? There
There's
you are.
Me. So you can either tip this way. You want to show the other way real quick? If you
Okay.
can.
Yeah.
Go back to where you just were. You can hit escape or just go back one where you can see that I commented.
Just the comment?
Yeah. So if this is a kind of a neat trick, actually, if you go find me again, and you can tip right here where it says tip on your screen. If you do it this way, it will let me know literally what exact reply or post I got tipped on. So if you're tipping, I would do this like with Matter, for example, with MTR. If I tip somebody, it would then tell them what post they got tipped out for. So they can know, like, oh man, this was good enough that somebody tipped me in addition to whatever rewards I get the tips.
That's cool.
Those are the two ways.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yes, that's exciting. Okay.
I can vote on your question about what the avatar should be now.
Yeah. So then that was the other thing. So this is where the community, you want to participate in this because you're going to get to vote on things. Like, you know how Telegram has those polls, you guys? How do I get to governance on my lair? I just go to my lair.
So again, there's a couple of ways. Go to your layer and hit the gavel up there.
This little gavel at the top.
You need to choose a profile pic right there.
And then right here is this question. It says GI, which is governance issue, miscellaneous, change profile picture. And so I was like, how do I get a new profile picture, which Dave's going to help me with?
Yeah.
But I was like, okay. So then I went in and it's got a format that you fill out just like on Telegram. And it says, ask your question, description. And then it says option 1, option 2, you add an option. So I was like, do we use the Mighty logo? Do we use the cartoon that of me that Glasswalker created? Or do we use like the group pic of Bix and Nana and all of us from the Team Mighty event? Or I thought this might be epic. Do we use a picture of Polly P wearing the Team Mighty shirt?
Nice.
I thought might be my favorite.
Well, I just voted.
Okay, there you go.
If you refresh, it'll show up. You can see how it shows up.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Boom.
So then it says it has 7. What is this little 7 people have looked at it?
That have looked at it. Yep.
And 2 comments and no votes. 1 for Mighty logo. So now we know what you want.
Yeah, you got a logo. And actually you can hit the caret now and see who voted. If you're curious, if you want to snoop on who's in the same, I'm sorry. Then on the right-hand side, there's a little down arrow. Now that I voted, you can see,
it says who voted. Okay, cool.
Boom. There's my 1%. Okay.
And because you had 1 lot, your weight goes to that. Okay, cool.
Yep. That you just gave me. Yep. And all of this is on chain and provable and like if anybody thinks that it got cheated or whatever, you can prove that it wasn't and all of that. So it's a really cool system.
Yeah, so I can do it. And you can, in a layer, you can do a governance issue anytime.
Yeah, so this is
towards the week, like the Golden DAO thing.
No, you don't. Not at all. At any time, you can do that. How do I say this? If you don't get enough people to vote to get more than 50% to make a decision, after 1 week, it resolves however it resolves. Like whatever the most votes, that wins. that kind of thing. So nothing will get stuck in limbo because it didn't reach, enough votes or whatever, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And you and I later, I'll show you. There's a different way to put up. It's also a governance issue to change like the description and the banner at the top and all of that stuff. I'll show you how to upload the image to add it in there.
Well, since my words say that I'm gonna tip out this Friday, I'm gonna tip out this Friday.
Okay.
For this post, I'm gonna honor my words. And so the top 3 get 1 lot today are, and I'm gonna do it right here. Daddy-O gets 1.
Just make sure you're picking the right one, because I remember one time I accidentally gave you like all of my firearms lot.
Yes, I remember. And you were like, "Can you send me that back, please?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yes, but you have to tell me how to do it." Yeah. So Daddy-O just got 1, and then I follow my arrow down. Clint Westwood, you got another 1 lot.
A lot
And
of money.
A lot of money.
Oh, I should mention while you're doing that everybody who holds those lot tokens, not only are you voting and getting to have a say in what happens in the decisions that get made, whatever Lisa and the crew want decided. Also, I mentioned that you get rewarded for the content that you post in a layer, and you get rewarded in that matter token, the MTR token. Well, 5% of all of the matter, we call it mining. It's a form of mining, basically. All of the matter that's mined in that layer, in other words, 5% that gets rewarded to the people that are posting content in the layer gets distributed to the layer owners, the lot holders. So you actually do get a form of passive income just by holding that lot token. So it'll be part of your rewards just for being an owner. Will be 5% of whatever's in that layer. That's spread out among all lot holders, of course, not each individual. But it came to mind, so I wanted to say it.
I think I'm going to be generous and just give everyone who posted on this very first one lot.
Cool. Now you're on matter.
Initial. Yeah, make sure I'm giving them a lot on. Because if you're engaging on our very first post, then we're excited that you're here.
And the early denizen gets the lot.
The early denizen gets the lot. And hopefully they'll continue to watch the show, come to and participate in our lair. So if you guys are watching this show right now, go log in and go comment, and you'll get a lot. Because I got a lot right now to give away.
That's cool. That's a really cool.
Make me have less voting power, which is fine.
I love that. Like a few different layers are using that structure where it's incentivizing people to, participate in it's a little game, Yeah.
I think it's more fun to play with friends, And that's what I wanted to do something, we were feeling so powerless in the world right now. And I really felt inspired when Joe kept saying, go build something. And we're trying to be divided so much. And I was like, okay, this is something where media is dividing us and we're being used and manipulated in so many ways. And I was like, okay, I'm not technical, but I have friends that have built some pretty cool shit that we can go be a part of something. And I have great friends and community that we can bring over here and they can benefit from that. And so one thing I am good at is networking and trying to bring people together where they can all benefit from that. And so I feel like this is what I can do for the community is we can all grow together. So,
well, you won me over. I've come to adore you. So whatever I can do to help you out, I'm there. Just let me know.
Thanks. I agree. I'm a fan of the Denzians. I hope I'm doing this all right. It keeps saying I have 94 Am I doing this right? It's just not updating yet, maybe.
You can go and find out if you click on the Mighty layer and see who the owners are.
Okay,
see if
that's
they've
what
showed
it'll
up.
update. Mighty layer information.
Bada bing!
Look at all our friends.
Heck yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, Jacob Wayne. I know Jacob Wayne. I have Jacob Wayne's camera right now. He let me borrow it for a trip to Iceland, and I never mailed it back to him.
So he has a great layer on here. Yeah, with all of his, and he has a great, you told me about that business model. Westwood, that's the one that I was telling you that we might be able to do when we get back on the road, get with Jacob Wayne, and he would send us camera equipment. We would shoot like our road trips. We send it back to him and he cuts and edits it. And then we could do like a series kind of thing. It might be funny.
Yeah, it's a cool service. He calls it nomadic gear. The gear itself is nomadic. He sends it out with people. You get vacation. He showed me a few. He's posted on Den some examples of like vacation videos he's cut for people and stuff like that. I might just hang on to it. I don't know. I'm going to Oregon soon, and then we're going to Prague and Germany also this year. So
how are you traveling when the world's falling apart?
Not going to Europe, are you?
I'm going to Prague
this winter.
This winter.
Oh man, you got to record some of that. That could be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to Germany, and then we're going to spend 3 or 4 days in. I don't know if they call it the Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia or whatever it is today. Over there, anyway, in the middle of winter, it's going to be interesting. I'll report back on Den. There's a travel and photography layer, so I'll post my stuff in there about it. I'll let you know how cold it is, and I tell you this: I've already noticed that the prices have. We did our booking on Airbnb, and there's already an additional cost if you want to be there in the winter, and if you want to use the jacuzzi, and if you want to use the spot, the sauna or whatever. It's like, let us know.
Want heat in your room.
Yes.
Or a blanket.
Yes.
Frostbite. Then
even if it's off season, if it's winter, you get the on season price because heat's expensive, and that's literally what it says. It's like, sorry, but the cost of energy is outrageous right now. So that's showing up just for the average person. Even people that are tourists.
Even with the strong dollar, it doesn't matter. If you can't get energy from Russia and pipelines are blown up, might have a problem. So, it'd be interesting. I want to see the reports out of Russia. Russia.
Yeah, I won't be traveling to Russia. I won't be there. I'm crazy, but I'm not going there.
Oh, they'll be warm. I mean, Europe might not be, but Russia will be.
Yeah, there's a webcam I noticed right now where somebody in Russia has this webcam going on that's just on their stove, where it just shows the stove being on 24/7, like, haha. And I was just like, you dick. Like, you're just rubbing it in, salt into the wound.
Like rubbing it in your face.
Mm-hmm.
On.
Crazy.
Ugh.
Crazy. I was going to invite my friend on. We are looking for an option on. You mentioned earlier that that it does have DAO capabilities, or could be used as a DAO with the governance, and that it's on chain, and the encryption options. We kind of talked about some of that. So I invited my friend. I don't know if he's available. He might jump on here and ask a couple questions. We'll see. But I just think this is going to be a really cool thing for the community.
Yeah, you can do private layers too.
Okay, that was the other question. Yeah. Could they be private where other people couldn't see what you're posting? So a business really could use this as a communication tool in their business.
Yes, the way we have it set up is, and there's actually a few businesses operating with private layers, and they have, I'm in 2 of them actually, and we're under NDA, and it's all private, and it's not public and all, and so you have to be invited in, so like it's very controlled. Nobody can just like swing by and happen to check it out, and it also it is the private layers, since they're private and not everybody can find them, they are not part of the economy either. Otherwise, every single layer is part of the same economy on Den.
Okay.
Meaning, like, you're technically with your posts in the Mighty layer, you're technically competing against people in the music layer and in the whatever layer for the daily rewards and stuff like that. There are 1,000 matter MTR. There are 1,000 of those that are minted every day, and that's it. There's only 1,000 a day to go to everybody on the platform, and so that's the scarcity model. For the next, I have to look at the contract, but it's like 1,300 years. There's 1,000 a day, so that's it. That's all we get to go around. So they are scarce.
Okay, interesting. So if I have 8,000
energy,
how does that number come to be? That's from other people.
Mm-hmm. So that is from anybody who wants to vote. Now that is an absolute. You don't know right now. Now we have a feature going in where you will be able to see this, but right now you don't know whether that's positive energy or negative energy. It's an absolute.
Oh, okay.
Right. It used to be that. So we were trying to stop bandwagoning. Basically, that used to be where you could see if it was positive or negative, but human nature is like people were just going with what everybody else was doing, and that's not what we need. We need literally objective evaluation. Point is, that goes into the algorithm that powers the reward system, and that and every other post and every other reply on the whole platform every single day goes through an algorithm to decide who gets what payout, who gets what portion of that 1,000 matter.
Oh, the other thing I did on this was that I shared this post and I put some like a bounty on it when we created this.
Yes, the boosts.
The boost. There's a way to boost this. So if you guys share this post from Den, not from up in the URL, but from this little clicky button down here, then if someone clicks on your link wherever you shared it and comes and visits this, you can earn more matter for sharing that post and driving that traffic to Den.
Totally.
So you definitely want to go and share this post to your other platforms and have them look into joining Den.social and subscribing to the Mighty Lair and making a comment themselves. Because I ran that, I think, for 2 weeks or a week and a half or something like that. And so I'm paying it's like my way of paying advertising for the lair or for you guys to go I'm like, hey, I'll give you some matter for you to go tell all your friends about Den.social and the lair.
Earlier, when I was talking about having an alternative advertising system, that's what I was referring to. Mm-hmm. Is that system right there, and that's the closest thing we have to like an affiliate program. So, what you're basically doing is once again, everything's it's a competition and it's a marketplace under the hood. So what you're doing is everybody who shares that per day gets a slice of that pie of however much gets paid out per day. If only one person bothers to hit the share button that day, they get the whole thing. But if 5 people do it and 10 people click on those links, it depends on how many people get how many clicks.
And so Chef Jeff, who is in the chat right now, just came on and he signed up.
Oh, great.
He subscribed to Mighty. So I gave him 5 energy and I'm going to tip him a lot token so that he is now a owner in the Mighty Lair.
That's good.
And
I think
Daddy-O gives him some hearts. That's awesome.
I think Chef Jeff was the one that I saw was having issues earlier logging in, so I'm glad that worked out.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so he got that figured out, and Daddy-O's giving him some love, so I give him some energy too.
For success, Chef Jeff.
How cool is this?
I mean, of course, I think it's really cool.
I love it. Well, Dave, I appreciate you so much helping us.
Anytime.
This is going to be great for the community. I'm going to keep promoting it. And you guys, please share this opportunity for everybody. Encourage them to jump on here and share content on the Mighty platform or on the Mighty Lair, that's where like I was saying, like if we can share Mitchie's Motivational Mondays on here, we can share other posts. If you guys are finding information out there, instead of posting it in a Telegram group or whatever, come over here to Mighty, post a link to something, make a comment on it, tell the community about it, and then see what the community thinks about it. They're going to say, yeah, this is important to us. And they're going to give you some energy, you know. That's where we should be being rewarded for the energy that we're putting out there in the community, and we can all be stronger together for that.
Absolutely, all about community. Lisa, you want to continue after Dave jumps off? You want to continue?
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah.
It, baby.
All right. I've been making him be quiet, so he's drinking over there like a shrine.
Yeah, I opened the beer myself, so I got some of those Czech Pilsners. So I was getting ready for my trip, you know, that kind of thing. So we have, last thing I'll say is we have a Den support layer. So if you have any issues, you can go over, find the one that says Den support. There's like 3 Den layers. There's Den support, there's Den itself, which is for like anything that you want to say that talking about Den itself. And then there's Den.DAO, which is the governance part. So we have a Den support layer. It has a chat room, but just post in there. We'll see it. If you have any issues, support at Den.social if you want to email. And then also every Thursday, we have a meeting. It's not a show. It's a governance call, a meeting. And that is a public meeting where anybody can join. And that's a great place where if you feel like you just haven't been able to like get the answer that you wanted from Den support or whatever, you can just come into the Den.DAO call and say, hey, here's the thing, you know, whatever you want. So we're pretty open about everything. So thank you very much for joining Den, and I'll pop into chat. I'll be around and stuff too. Okay. And hit me up at distant anywhere you see it. That's me.
Okay. Thanks so much. I really appreciate your help. I'm super excited.
I want to see some of those videos in the winter.
Oh yeah, I'll make them. I'll have them.
Awesome. Love it.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm so excited. I got it all to work. We've got the Mighty Lair started. We've got ownership. Nice watch, man.
Yeah, Litecoin.
It's Litecoin time.
It's Litecoin time. Totally. Go ahead, Lisa. Because I'm going to get on a tangent. I'm going to jump on the soapbox. I'm going to rant.
Go for it. I want to hear it. We don't have to wrap it up. I'm easy peasy. It's just been like a wild week. I've been working my tail off with the Veritasium DAO. We've been doing interviews. We're working at filing our amicus curiae. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly this time. And amicus curiae. Yeah. Or you can say amicus brief. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, there have been at least one other, possibly 2 other groups that are filing as well. That's some breaking news. That's pretty exciting. The whole cryptocurrency community is coming together to say we've had enough of this oversight without guidance. And it's pretty exciting. So
it's very exciting. You know, what's exciting is if you look at, you know, first of all, when we started out this video, I talked about Bix Weir's video where he said the COMEX is shutting down. There's evidence of that. You've got today, Johnny Litecoin coming out, payment processor, knows the game inside, talking about, hey, we've got a payment processor, a major payment processor shutting down. I have direct evidence. My wife's sister-in-law told earlier, went to lunch, couldn't pay with a credit card, didn't have cash. So what happened? They gave her the lunch for free because they couldn't process the payments. See, this is what's going to happen. The system that we've all depended on, when it fails, what are we going to go to? What are we going to go to? We're going to pay with silver? No. She could have had silver in her pocket today. Nothing she can do about it. If they had a Litecoin wallet, she could have paid. Boom, like that. Just like that. Litecoin network, never been down, 100% uptime. See, that's the solution when the digital system is engineered to fail, because that's what they're going to do. That's what they're doing. They're blowing up pipelines. It's sabotage. Everybody says it's sabotage. Nobody's pointing the finger. Well, they are, but nobody's going to tell anybody who did it. We know who did it. We know who blew up the pipeline. And what's that do? That screws Europe. Completely screws them. I mean, they're going to be freezing this winter. That's why I half-heartedly made a joke with Dave. It's like, you're going to Europe this winter? Are you serious? Because
his family's from, or his wife's family is from there. So,
you know, and I get it, but I mean, it's like building a condo on the Gulf Coast or on Florida at this point. I mean, they're going to take down the system, and they're doing it right now. You're seeing it happen. All of those vulnerable points, they're going to hit them. They're going to cut it out. I mean, this is the thing that we've always been in crypto for, that we've been preparing for.
But I think the other side of that is that America is the one that's going to be left out. America is the one that they thought they were the big dog. They're going to realize they were the goldfish in the little bowl. Like we thought we were this whale this whole time, and the rest of the world's like, F that. They keep breaking their promises to us and saying that, you know, we promised Saudi Arabia that, you know, the dollar was going to be the petrodollar, all this. Keep breaking our promises. Oh, it's going to be backed by gold. We break our promise to Saudi Arabia. I mean, we keep breaking our promise, and the rest of the world has said enough, and they made bricks. And they're doing other things. And so I don't know. I don't think they're going to be so cold this winter, but we might.
Europe won't be. Europe will be cold. Europe's cut off. I mean, they don't have natural gas. How are they going to get the natural gas?
They have other things.
Well, they can deliver it by boat. I mean, it's going to cost more money. You got to print more money. And that's why the Bank of England, that's why all these people are going to print. All these governments are going to print. Yeah, we might be left out in the cold, but we don't need to be. And it was proven that we shouldn't be left out in the cold because we have the resources to produce for ourselves. What they're doing is breaking the supply chain on purpose. They did it with 2 years of a plan, and now they're doing it by blowing up pipelines. They're doing it by making bad deals. They're doing it by doing everything they can to destroy America. And, you know, the fact that you think you've got a strong dollar right now, no, you don't. It's just because the dollar's everywhere. The dollar is in every country. It's the reserve currency. Everybody's got it. They have to use it. You know, oh, pay for this, pay for that. Everything's tied to the dollar. But as that unwinds, they're going to figure it out. The people, basically, it comes down to this. If you don't have it, you don't own it. I mean, that's why we're in crypto. If you don't have it, you don't own it. Russia owns natural gas. They own oil. They own everything they need. And Putin, in his speech the other day, I've seen a translation of it. Basically, that's what he said. He said that we've got the resources. We will survive. You're not going to manipulate us. You're not going to have a proxy war with us. I mean, Putin has taken back the eastern front, or the western front of Ukraine. They voted, but that was the whole goal. They took Ukraine away. NATO, they lied. I mean, the West lied to Russia. Hey, we're not going to encroach on your border. NATO's not going to move 1 inch forward. And then they open a base in Poland, you know, a permanent base. I mean, all they're doing is stoking the beast. And everything that this, you know, so-called American empire has done is starting to crumble right now. And it will all roll back on America.
Yeah. And the people will be the ones that pay for it.
Absolutely, the people are going to pay for it because we've got a bunch of corrupt people running the show. And that's what it comes down to. And that's why right now, because they're manipulating everything, the silver, the gold, the oil, the natural gas, everything, crypto, it doesn't matter. That's why you got to get in your possession right now, because payment processor, you know, a major payment processor went down today. What happens if it doesn't fix, reboot the system, the software glitch, whatever it is? What are you going to do? You can't go to a restaurant and pay. You can't go to a gas station and pay. You can't, because nobody knows what to do. They stand there and they're just,
that's the thing is that, and I think that's why I was so excited about Den.social and Silver, and is that you have to build those bridges now. Because it's coming where there's not another option. That the little girl at the counter that says, I'm sorry, my payment, my little thingy, my doohickey doesn't work because Swift doesn't exist anymore.
Work.
Yeah. And So I know there's tons of food behind me in the store, but I can't let you have any because my boss will kill me.
Right, right. Or you
So then
figured
what
out,
do you do?
hey, I'm going to fill up my basket and I'm going to roll out the door. I mean, seriously, that's what it's coming to. That's what will happen because people aren't going to sit by and take it.
But
I mean,
then that snowballs into
because now,
who fills the store. That person doesn't get paid or can't fill the gas tank of the truck that fills the store. Like at some point, it does all stop.
it has to because it's
Yeah.
gone. Nothing works. And
So you have to build other avenues of where do you get your food? How do you exchange with things? How do you get around? How do you talk to your friends and family? How do you make a plan to connect? And that's where we have to build other things. We have to build other pathways of thriving.
you do, and the blockchain's the way. I mean, that's the only way out in the digital world because nobody understands, all the intricacies of how everything works and how everything transfers right now in the economic system. I mean, it just works. Okay, the Visa works, I use it. Hey, Venmo works, until it doesn't. And at that point, you have to have something that is going to work. And the only thing is a truth protocol. It's something that's based on the blockchain. It's outside of government. It's outside of corporate entities. It's outside of all the BS that we've been trained and enslaved to use. You're talking about Facebook, you're talking about all these different platforms. That's what they've done. They've ushered you into this so they can monetize you, make you an entity that works for them, some cog in the system. And you have to break free from that and understand that. You have to understand that they are not looking out for your best interests. And yes, they are vampires running a vampire system. And so you have to disconnect from that. And if it's not blockchain based, if it's not outside of government control, if it's not outside of central bank control, it's not going to work because they can manipulate all that. They can't manipulate the blockchain. They can in price value until they can't. And that time, I think, is really coming.
Bless you, Mitch.
And yes, exactly. Bless you. Gesundheit, health to you, my brother. So now more than ever, and I don't want to be an alarmist. I'm not that guy that wants to go out there and say, hey, everything's falling apart, Chicken Little, because I don't want it to be that way. I don't want a zombie apocalypse. I don't want a Mad Max scenario. But you're starting to see the signs now to where they are clamping down and shutting things down. You have got to be in a position. You have got to make sure that you're giving your energy to things like Lisa said today. That's why we have this program on Den.social, to be able to communicate in a distributed way, in an independent way, rather than going through, the easy way that they've handed to you, because they'll cut that off. They kicked a president off Twitter. I mean, seriously.
And raided his wife's underwear drawer.
Yes, exactly. For what? Because, one of the Obamas needed some, lingerie. I don't know which one, but that's what happens, I guess.
Yeah. Criminals.
There ain't nothing going on in the world right now, though.
So much going on in the world today. Like I'm just struggling more and more to have like talks with, I guess what you would call a normie.
Because in the Revolutionary War, you had sympathizers with the crown. People that live in colonies. They'd be a redcoat. That's what they believe in. They believe in the established order, that everything's going to be fine, and the Navy, the British Navy, sun never sets on the British Empire. And all that. And I mean, you don't want to be that person because things are changing and history is like unfolding right in front of you right now. Mm-hmm. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in the people around you, then you're going to lose. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Let's get to the cold, hard facts. You're going to lose. You have got to realize what's important in your life and quit depending upon the system. Quit depending upon these people, these entities, because that's what they are. They're not human, that are ruling over you. And they tell you to get in line to do this, or you don't have your job. You know what? I don't need that job. I'm out. You've just got to say, and release yourself in the freedom. Just saying that makes me free, because just the thought of just saying, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm not in the game, and you walk away. You'll be fine. Human beings.
Was it Johnny that said, quit make it, we're not, let them make all the rules for typewriters they want or something like that? And I thought, yeah, that's kind of how I feel with all this SEC stuff. All the 3-letter agencies.
Who
Like,
cares if the SEC approves Bitcoin and XRP? F them. Use it if it.
I don't care.
Use
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
and be done with it. You
Yeah.
know, be them. They want you to.
Free men don't ask permission.
Yes, let's hang on every word that Powell says. Let's hang on every word that whatever official says. It's like, no, you're stronger than they can ever be. You have more
Well,
power.
and they're only saying what they're being puppeted to say in the moment. This is what Reggie and I had the interview today, and he was like, and I've had just a real education through this whole thing, and cryptocurrency has been the beginning of my education. And that's why I'm Litecoin Lisa, because my mom gave us Litecoin as a wedding gift. So that was my first crypto. And that was my red pill, orange pill, blue pill, whatever color you want to call it. But it was my awakening, my education about money and how corrupt the system is, and how money makes us a slave, and who we are a slave to, who we are the useful idiot to, and how they steal our power. And once I woke up from that, like, so one of the funniest things is, and Dave was just on here, and he's a performer. He's in a band, or was in a band, whatever. I don't know if he's still in the band, but he used to be. And so he was sending me this. He's like, oh, this performance is going to be in Oklahoma City. You should go see this. And it's like a magician and a comedian. He doesn't know, like, I detest magicians. Cannot stand magicians. To me, the magician is you are the dumb dog. And when somebody's throwing a ball and everyone's and they go and they put it behind them, and then everyone laughs at the dog. Oh, that dog's so stupid.
Hey, come on stage.
So I'm like, wait, you're gonna go pay money to sit somewhere, and someone's gonna pretend to throw a ball and stick it behind their back, and you're gonna be the dumb dog? Like, no thanks. I don't want to be the dumb dog. So I detest being lied to. Like, it is my most hated thing. If you want me to never speak to you again, lie to me and let me find out about it. It just goes all over me. So anyway, that is, now I've gone off on a tangent. I can't remember where I went back to, but the useful idiot thing. Yeah. That is what they want us all to be, useful idiots for them. They want to lie to us and have us do their bidding and be their slaves. And I was talking to Patrick Hakeem today, Divvy Daddy, they're getting ready to do their meetup in Dallas. Yes. And he was like just checking in and, saying hi and whatever, he's getting ready to go work out. And he's like, has it ever been this bad? He's like, was I just that out of touch? And I was like, no, it's way worse. And he's like, but they've always kept us busy. That's why the American dream was buy a house, have a car, put your kid in college, so that you have so much debt. All you can do is work until you're almost dead. And then you can retire on your Social Security that you were too dumb to manage, because they need to manage it in a 401k because you're too stupid. Some dude that's called a financial planner, who I was married to one for 20 years. And when we got divorced, supposedly we didn't have any savings or financial planning. So I don't think they're very smart. They're certainly not any smarter than you are. I can vouch for that. So I'm just saying, the useful useful idiot narrative, you're not a useful idiot. You are capable of making choices for yourself. You are capable of taking control and being responsible for the choices in your life, taking personal responsibility for your health, your wealth, your finances, your personal safety, and being free. Don't be a slave. Don't let them push that on you. And part of it is this whole bullshit narrative of, oh, well, the Republicans or your Democrat. That's what I was talking about. Was Reggie and I were talking, and I was like, oh, That person served under Obama. And he's like, Lisa, they give to both sides of the aisle. They are so wealthy. They're not going to dare risk one or the other party getting into power.
No.
They eat off of both sides of that fork.
Wouldn't you do the same thing if you had that kind of money? Trump did it. He donated to Democrats. He donated to Republicans because it's
sure.
everybody
I'm sure they all do.
The establishment to continue because it's done well for them. And that's what they're going to do. And you look at the money that they give, it's a pittance. I mean, you know, it really, going to give $1 million. You know, it's all backdoor deals. It's all, hey, you know, when we get to a war with Ukraine, we're going to make a lot of money because we're going to send billions over there every month. Yeah, you want to position yourself so that you can, you know, get that money. And who pays for it? We pay for it through inflation because we'll never pay back the debt. And that's the thing. We will never, ever be able to pay back the trillions of dollars, 30 trillion plus $170 trillion in unfunded liabilities. We'll never be able to pay that back. No amount of tax, 100% income tax would be able to pay for that. So once you understand that it's a big rigged game, Carlin says it's a big club and you ain't in it. Once you realize you're not in it, you look for things to where you can front run them. You've been given a golden freaking gift from heaven in cryptocurrency. In silver, in things that have finite supply or limited supply, at least, you got to take possession of it. You got to have it. Right now, if you had a condo in Florida, you know, $1 million condo on the beach, $5 million condo on the beach, what good is it to you now? Where are you? Where are you? I mean,
and people think that their insurance is going to pay them back, but Bix was talking about it, and
unless the government bails them out.
Unless. And there's a thing called reinsurance where they sell it's like a derivative kind of thing.
All fake at this point. There's no real things anymore, except, and that's why I keep talking about real things. You know, if you're not sitting on some land, some dirt that can grow things, if you don't have silver in your possession, if you don't have Litecoin in your possession, if you don't have these things that you can hold, you can hold them as an individual. You don't have to be, you know, $250,000 or what do you call it, accredited investor to buy. I mean, take this stuff in your possession, because if the world falls apart and they steer a hurricane or blow up a pipeline and you lose everything, you can walk away and still have it because the blockchain secures all that money. It's like this virtual bank, you know, that holds all your funds. And you just have a key to unlock that virtual safety deposit box, no matter where you're at in the world. You have that ability to just to say, okay, that's fine. I'll go somewhere else. I'll take my money somewhere else. That's it.
And then think about this. The CDBCs, right? Central bank digital currencies. Just how the hell are you going to buy Litecoin?
You're not going to be able to buy Litecoin because they're going to say,
if you do, they know you have it.
Yeah, and they're going to say, and the thing is, it doesn't even matter. I don't even think it, you know, they don't even have to worry about that because there's not enough to go around. And once people get into the digital world and understand, hey, I've got a digital asset, the CBDC. My Social Security check comes in CBDCs now. Hey, how can I get some Litecoin with that? They're going to say, well, you got to go through this preferred vendor, you know, whatever channel, and you can only get, you know, 0.1 a week. See, they'll gateway it all. You're not going to be able to get it. And you'll have to get it from an accredited agency that limits how much you can get. Right now,
has a license to do that.
You can get like one Litecoin for $54 right now. You might want to take $100 bill and go to an ATM and get some. Just saying.
Yeah. This is an older article. It's from December 1st, 2021, but I shared it briefly on Thursday. It was in some of my research that I was doing. But this is a statement from Gensler. He said this in December. We layered over our digital money system about 40 years ago with money laundering and various sanctions and regimes around the globe. We layered that over a digital currency system called our banking system. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto wrote this paper in part as a reaction, an off-the-grid type of approach. It's not surprising that there's some competition and that you and I don't support it, but that's trying to undermine that world consensus. Like, that is the most bizarre statement to me.
It's undermining. I mean, you think about, okay, I'm going to get serious. I'm going to, and I have been serious, but I'm going to tone it down. Understand what cryptocurrency is. Understand the revolution that was created with Bitcoin, with the white paper, and understand what happened on January 3rd, 2009, when the first block of Bitcoin transactions occurred. Those are essentially your exchange of energy to someone else. You're transferring it, and it's being validated. It's being verified, not by a vampire system that gives you permission, that takes it away from you, not by a vampire casino that makes you play with their chips. No, it's completely outside that.
It's permissionless.
Exactly. You don't have to ask for permission. It's decentralized where anybody can participate. Anybody can run the code. Anybody can choose to participate in that network. And all we're doing is saying, you know what? The system's broken. It doesn't work for me. It's highly inflationary. I can't buy eggs for under $9 for what? A couple dozen at Sam's when it used to be $3. Okay. Mitch told me that today. No, it's a system that basically erupted out of the ocean, and formed a new island like Hawaii was formed. And we said, you know what? That's a cool place. I kind of like that. I want to participate in that. And as more and more people came into that, and the island grew, we said, this is a good place, and we're gonna be here. We're gonna live here. We're gonna live in this system. We're gonna live in this ecosystem. Nothing stops that. It's just code running on computers, and we're giving it energy. And by giving it energy, it went from $0 to $20,000 per Bitcoin. I mean, and will you take Bitcoin to build a house, Mitch? Absolutely. Will you take Litecoin to build a house, Mitch? He'd prefer Litecoin. And so as more people with more skills that have actual things to give to the world accept this currency, accept this form of money, it changes the world. Because take Litecoin, you got a Litecoin summit coming up on October 21st and October 20th and 21st. Litecoin Lisa's birthday. She's going to be 70 years old. Absolutely an amazing looking, beautiful woman for 70 years old. You never see anybody this beautiful. But you've got that summit. And what happens before that on October 13th? 11 years the Litecoin network has been running. Outside of a government, outside of a central bank. You can transfer value. It's had no downtime, unlike the systems right now today, as Johnny Litecoin talked about, where you can't go to Starbucks in New Jersey and buy a coffee with a debit card or a credit card. I mean, these are the tools that have been given to us. It's like manna from heaven. And we've got the ability to participate in those outside of any control, no jurisdictions worldwide, because we give it energy. If we give it energy, it works. It's like anything else.
So this is such a funny story. So we're watching my friend's little boy, and the boys love this Fortnite stuff and this Nintendo Switch thing and the Minecraft stuff and all this stuff. And so they want V-Bucks. I'm learning about these V-Bucks, and they got to have a password and an account, and you want a Microsoft account. I was like, why do I have to pay Microsoft for an account to get the V-Bucks and then the thing and all the stuff? I was like, I don't think you have to do that. And I was like, doesn't he have one of those things you want, the ball with the explosions on it or whatever? And he's like,
like a virtual weapon.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, he has it. And I said, well, can't he just give it to you? And he's like, well, yeah, but I paid V-Bucks for it. And so like, you go get your own V-Bucks and go get your own explosive ball. And I was like, well, what if we just give you some Litecoin and you drop it in the game and then he can pick it up? And he was like, huh? Peer-to-peer. I said, you guys don't need V-Bucks. If you can buy stuff, I said, and you can tell your little friends on the game, hey, little friends on the game, download a wallet and drop your gun thing or your explosive ball or your bear suit with the fuzzy stuff on it or your banana peel thing or whatever, all the things. Drop it. Here's my address. Let them send you the Litecoin. And then they drop the thing in the game and you pick it up.
Done. See, the harder they squeeze, the more we slip through their fingers.
don't have to operate in their system.
No, all the technology's out there that can destroy us, but it's the same technology that we can use to just, like little rats running around that they can't catch. They can't catch us. They can't do anything about it, because with technology, like a gun, like any other weapon, it can be used for good or evil. And so again, that's why I love that Star Wars quote: the harder you squeeze, the more we slip through your fingers. There's nothing you can do to stop this, because you've unleashed an idea with blockchain. And when you do that, it's just like the American Revolution. You've released an idea that resonates with the human spirit, to where it's like, nope, I know I'm free. You're out. There's nothing you can do to stop.
Here's the other amazing thing with blockchain, and this made my day today. So we're preparing for the interview with Reggie. And they're like, oh, Lisa, they took down that interview that you wanted to do, or that video post that you wanted to do with Gensler. And I was like, no. I said, hold on. I have to go. I said, my friend posted it on, he downloaded it and posted it on Den.social, so it's forever stored on the blockchain. But they took it down everywhere else. So, but because it is forever stored on the blockchain, where is my link? I had my, sorry, I put my notes away because I didn't want to have too many things up. Out here, let me open recent. I'm going to pull this up because this is just epic. And we should play it and celebrate it here. We should share it all over.
Everywhere.
Everyone should go to Den.social.
And everybody on your phones and have video of it and see they can't stop it. It's like a viral picture. Once you put it out there, ladies.
Go to the cryptocurrency layer. Yeah. Once you put it on the interwebs, it should be there forever. And this is where we will have truth in history forever.
Yep. And by the way, just replacing one central monopolist with another central monopolist, a lot of commercial banks aren't terribly excited about that. Maybe you're going to have to give some ownership. Maybe you'll have to give 50% of your ownership to the 20 banks that are now, part of this. I mean, there are other ways to build incentive systems. Maybe you put a native token in there, and you give them the native token. There may be other incentive ways to beat the current monopolist, but I, having been around commercial banks for a long time, they really are looking for ways to replace their aggregators in their back office, whether it's clearing, settlement, exchanges, credit agencies, but they are deeply understanding, because they are pretty ambitious and very good at making money as well. They deeply understand that every idea that's pitched to them is somebody who currently is small but wants to get big and gain market power. So they're also always thinking about how to ensure that there's a check to slow down your startup from gaining market power 5, 10, and 15 years from now. They don't want you to be the next clearinghouse like the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or Intercontinental Exchange.
Oh, we can't have that.
No.
You can't be in the club.
Node of market power. So you might share some of that with them, or you might find an incentive system.
Because otherwise you won't survive.
See, that's what they want to do, though. And see, that's why it's so important to get as much market share of cryptocurrency as you can, because they know how powerful it is. They know you hold the cards. And that's why they want to scare you out of it. That's why when you look at, oh my God, Bitcoin went under $20,000 and it was 70,000. I just don't want to buy it, But when it's 70,000, everybody wants it. And then they dump it on you and then they buy up more. See, it's a big game. That's really what it is. They understand that they have to control the system. And if it's decentralized to the point where we have ownership of it, we own the money. And there's nothing they can do about it. They got to come to us to beg. And then they actually have to do something. Instead of control us, I mean, you think about everything. Watch the nightly news. Look who the sponsors are. Look who pays the bills, and that will tell you everything you need to know. I mean, why are we participating in this monkey show? I mean, really, why are we? When all the truth is leaking out, it's all out there. I mean, they've deceived us for so long that you've got a weapon of truth. And when you go to work and they pay you in a paycheck, and then that paycheck, hey, I just went to the gas station. This is what it cost me. Now it's this much more. Hey, I just went to the store. It cost me this much last week. Now it costs me this much more. I'm not making any more money for the same work that I do. Then why am I playing in this casino? Why am I playing this game? And then you watch Gary Gensler, and he's telling you, well, these systems can exist, but we might give you a little bit of ownership of it, but still we need to run the system. The big players need to run the system. You know what? Why? What are they doing for you? Look at the stock market today. The word of the day is decouple. And I've been waiting for this. Decouple. Because Bitcoin for so long has followed the Dow. It's followed, the Dow goes down, Bitcoin goes down. You know what's been happening? Watch the Dow. It's been going down. Stock markets have been going down, and Bitcoin's been holding. Crypto's been holding. That's that moment. I think we're at that cusp. Cliff Ice talked about this, where there's that panic to own crypto. I mean, we're really at that balancing act right now, to where the stock markets are starting to tank and cryptos aren't moving down.
Even Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy, is saying, where he didn't really understand crypto for a long time.
Right.
He is saying, like, why would you hold $1? Like, all these other countries are trying to save their own. Like, it's like when a drowning person, don't go near a drowning person, because they will stand on you to save themselves. Yes. Yeah, they'll be like, "Hey, nice to see you. Stand on your shoulders." They are throwing out the dollar to try to save their own currency, and he's like, "Own gold, silver, Bitcoin," is literally what he said in this interview. I don't know, within the last few days, and he doesn't even really understand cryptocurrency. He just knows it is a solid asset that you can hold in your own possession.
Right.
And
like, take that boat out to sea, and you're like, oh shoot, at least you got that life preserver. It's got Bitcoin on it. You got that life preserver. It's got gold written on it. It's right there. So if you crash the boat, and if they throw a missile at it, you can jump out and hang on that life preserver. And it's like, at least I'm not going to drown. I'm going to survive. Who cares what it costs at that point? At least you have it. I mean, you've got to have it. If you don't have it, and if you don't have it in your possession, if you've got it on Coinbase, if you've got it on Gemini, if you've got it on Crack, you haven't taken possession in your wallet, like Lisa and I did all last year, taught you how to download a wallet, write down the seed phrase, get your crypto in that wallet. If you're not doing that, you're not going to make it. I mean, you've got to take possession. I mean, if you've ever at any point said, you know what, I got to get something that I can hold. I don't care if it's this piece of silver with Litecoin on it. I don't care if it's, some gasoline in a tank, in a 5-gallon tank, some food stored up. I don't care. If you don't have it, it might not be there tomorrow. And I don't want to be an alarmist, and, because a lot of the people on YouTube, oh my God, it's ending tomorrow. No. You know what you need. Get what you need. Don't have it in the. Don't let somebody else control it. Don't say, well, hey, I've got a case of beans waiting for me at the store. I can take possession of those whenever I want when the shit hits the fan. No, you can't, because somebody else is going to take them and eat them. And nobody's going to stop them from robbing the store. I mean, get it now. I mean, seriously, get it now. Have it in your possession. 9/10 of the law is possession. Cops aren't going to come and save you. They're not. You've got to have it.
Literally, when it's that kind of situation, you guys, they're going to be looking out for their own family.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of situation we're going to be in. It's no one's reporting for work at that point.
No,
we're going to be looking out for our families, our
paycheck.
Yeah, your paycheck is worth nothing at that point. No one's showing up for work. Yeah. And I got to go close my blinds or do something. But anyway, there's also the Westwood meetup. Is that open to the public coming up?
Well, maybe it is now.
Mostly in the spring, the one in the spring.
Oh, in the spring? Yeah, we've got that scheduled for next year, the Westwood meetup. We're going to have a public event with that. I mean, just put that on your calendar for June of next year sometime. We're going to have a Westwood meetup.
There's a big music festival or something that happens like on the town square, and so there's other stuff happening in the town.
We've got a carnival, that comes, and we've got local bands that come every night, and it'll be a good time. So
Westwood and I are looking at, or Westwood's starting to plan stuff in his area already. I'm going to plan something around April here in Oklahoma City for Team Mighty. So we'll have at least 2 things to look forward to, because I do think that although we're talking chaos, gloom and doom, prepare, it's a transition that we're going through. And that's because we're going to be moving to, I think, a bright new future where we're building stuff, and we need the community to be together to build that stuff together. So I'm excited to see all of you guys
build better, right? No.
Oh yeah, we're gonna build back better.
No, we do it now. We do it. What we have to do. We have to continue to do what we do.
We can circle back and build back better.
That's it, right?
Oh Lord. Okay. On that, I gotta go.
All right. Lovely Litecoin Lisa. Have a wonderful Friday night. Probably going to do a Spaces. Oh my gosh. You need to look up. Walk down this. It reminds me of the Christmas story. Ralph got the can. Shot his alms for
Tito's for Lisa.
There you go.
All right. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Watch for the interview from Reggie and I on the Veritasium DAO, and go sign up for Den.social and join the Mighty Lair. And I will have that post out for next Friday, sometime on Sunday. And you guys all next week go in and make comments and give each other energy. I'll be randomly dropping energy on people, and let's make it fun. Let's put our energy where it counts and where we can share with each other. So see you guys over there.
Love y'all. Trust yourselves. Always trust yourself.